What to sell, lesson 6. Best ways to test your product ideas through prototyping or minimum viable products, aka MVPs. Testing product ideas through prototyping or minimum viable products, that is MVPs, is a valuable approach to gather feedback, validate assumptions, and iterate on your product concept before investing significant resources. We touched this a little bit in lesson 3, but we'll talk more on that here. The first thing that you need to define your objectives. So clearly articulate the objectives you want to achieve through prototyping or building an MVP. So determine the specific questions or assumptions you want to validate, such as market demand, user experience, feasibility, or technical requirements. You need to identify the key features. When you're creating a product, now you've done your market research, you already know the kind of product that you want to create, you know the potential growth of this market, and then you know the potential scalability of this market. So now you want to create your product and you've studied and you know that okay, this product is going to be viable, you know that this product is going to sell. You want to go ahead and create that product. But before you do that, you don't just want to mass produce something that will not sell. You don't want to mass produce something that won't resonate with your target audience. So what are you supposed to do? You ought to create a prototype first. Okay, this is what we want to create at the end of the day. But before we do so, we'll create something that looks like it and see how and get the feedback. That's just a major reason. Get feedback from your target audience. See how they respond to this thing. That is why you need to define your objectives. So you need to clearly articulate the objectives you want to achieve through prototyping or building an MVP. So inside that your MVP, you must have all your key features in there, things that the product will carry, the benefits, the features, so that people will see what they will actually buy or what they are going to buy at the end of the day. Now, develop a prototype or MVP. Create a prototype or build an MVP that demonstrates the key features and core value proposition of your product. The level of fidelity can vary depending on the stage of development and the feedback you want to gather. Prototypes can range from simple sketches or wireframes or interactive mockups, while MVPs typically have basic functionality. So to have basic functional abilities because it is not the final produce or final product. For example, if any of these phone brands wants to roll out a particular version or a particular model, what they will do, they won't just create the version and then throw it out to the public. No, with iPhone or Android, for example, once they want to create a particular version, maybe they want to create a new version or a newer version of one particular existing version, they won't just go ahead and create the phone or create that version and then mass produce it and sell it. No, it's that's not how they do it. That's not the approach. What they will do is that they'll create one, then they may organize particular meeting or do something. They will organize something, then push it out to the public that okay, this is the newest version that we have. These are the features, these are the things that it will carry, these are the benefits, this is how and this is why it is much more better than the previous version. And then all of these things they will use it to get to gather feedback from their target audience, see how they relate, see how they react, see how they respond to this new product. So be it a physical product or digital product, it depends. So it will come in any form depending on that your product. So it could be in the form of sketches, it could be in form of wireframes or mock-ups. So it depends. You know what you want to create, you know the product, and then you know the final output. So you should know what you can create, things that you can inculcate for you to be able to create a minimum viable product, a good one at that. Now, test with target users and iterate based on feedback. Engage with your target audience or potential customers to gather feedback and insights. Conduct user testing sessions or interviews to understand their needs, preferences, and pain points. Observe how users iterate with the prototype or MVP and gather their feedback on usability, functionality, and overall experience. You need to identify patterns, pain points, or opportunities for improvement. Iterate on your product concept, design, or features based on the feedback received. Prioritize the most critical changes and enhancements that align with your product objectives. Meaning that since you are not creating this product to serve yourself, you are not creating products and then you want to sell it to yourself. You want to sell it to the public. So you need to gather feedback from them. Create that prototype or create that prototype. Then conduct user testing sessions. Okay, you have your target audience. Interview them. Use the testing sessions. Okay, show them what you have for them. This is the product that we have for you. This and this and this are the key features. This and this and this are the benefits. These are what you will enjoy buying or using this product. So you need to let them understand what they will get, what they will benefit in this particular product. Right now, you now wait for their response. You wait for their feedback. Feedback which could come in form of usability, then functionality, and overall experience. Now, let them tell you their experience. Let them tell you what they feel. From that, you gather more information in order for you to improve on that product, so that when the final product is going to come out, it will come out way better than the prototype. Right? Now, validate assumptions. Use the feedback, just like I said, use the feedback and insights obtained from testing to validate the assumptions made during the product ideation phase. Now, assess if the market demand exists, if users find value in your product, and if your solution effectively addresses their pain points. Consider if there are any significant gaps or risks that need to be addressed before proceeding further. You don't want to ignore the fact that your audience has given you feedback. Once they give you feedback and then they tell you to improve on this, edit this, change this, go ahead and make those changes. Go ahead and improve on that. You don't want to go ahead and stubbornly create or mass produce your prototype that your audience told you to edit or make changes to. If you do so, they won't buy. They won't even look at your product because they will see you as someone who is selfish. So that's why you are not serving yourself. You are serving the public. You are serving your target audience. So improve on that. You need to assess if the market demand exists, if users find value in your product, and if your solution effectively address their pain points. So what your product wants to meet with their pain points and wants to help them. It wants to bring solution to their problem. So anything that you can do and anything that you can add to that your product in order to bring solutions to their problem. That is what you are looking for, and that is what you should be looking for. So that's why you must gather the feedback and insights in order for you to validate your assumptions, and also in order to validate your assumptions which you have made during the product what ideation phase. Now, next thing that you need to do is gradually add complexity. As you receive positive feedback and validate your assumptions, gradually add complexity to your product, incorporate additional features, improve the user experience, and refine the design. However, be cautious not to overcomplicate the product too early, as it may increase development time and cost without a clear benefit. Meaning that once you validate your assumptions, with that you get more insight and then you get more ideas to add, things to edit, things to add to make that product better. But the thing is that you must not overcomplicate things for your audience. Like I said, you are not serving yourself, you are serving the people. So you are serving the target audience. You must not overcomplicate things too early in your product. It may increase development time and cost without a clear benefit, because once after creating your prototype and then you conduct that testing session, so now you are giving them the launch date. Okay, this is the particular date that this product is going to be launched. Now, because you are now overcomplicating things, automatically you've increased the development and launching time. So, and people will be what? They will be disappointed because they've been expecting this your perfect and awesome product. I don't want to disappoint your target audience. Then repeat the process. Testing through prototyping or MVP is an iterative process. Continue gathering feedback, iterating, and validating assumptions as you progress in the product's development cycle. Regularly assess, regularly reassess your objectives, align with user needs, and make data-driven decisions to guide the development of your product. Now, once you are done gathering all of the information, all of the feedbacks and everything and insights from your testing sessions, it is time to validate your assumptions and then go into creating another one. If it's something that will require you to create another prototype so that people can see that okay, you've improved on this, you've improved on this, you've improved on that, go ahead and do that, so that once you are done with all of your ideas and then the ideation phase and everything and the testing sessions, you'll be able to launch a perfect product for your target audience. So this needs to be properly put in place. This needs to properly checked before going into mass production of your product, right? So to do a little recap of this particular lesson, it is very important. You don't want to incur loss while creating a product. So best ways to test your product idea is through prototyping or minimum viable product. It is what you create in order for them to see your target audience, in order for them to see that okay, this is how the output is going to be at the end of the day. And I made mention and used the one of phones, for example, smartphones, or even PCs. Once they want to create a new version, they will tell you they won't just mass produce it and sell it and then push that to the public. No, they'll create a prototype and then show you. Same thing with cars, same thing with all of the brands out there that understand the concept of these MVPs, of creating MVPs or prototype. Now they will create that prototype where this and this are what makes it different from the older versions. These are things that we've improved on. How do you see it? All of this will be asked during the testing sessions. So now then you now gather feedback from your target audience. Okay, this and this are what we need. This and this are what we are expecting to see. This and this. No, you need to. This one is not comfortable. You need to shift it to this place. This is not comfortable here. You need to move it to this place. So that is how you get to know about what they actually want, depending on any kind of product that you are creating or that you want to create. So once you've gathered all the informations, all the insights, and everything, all the feedback, then you validate your assumptions, then gradually add complexity. You need to improve on those things that they said they do not want. You remove those, and then you add the ones that they suggested for you to add. Now you add it, and you will continue to repeat the process. So once you are all done, you can then do your main product. You cannot create your main product which you want to launch out to the public. So with this in place, you'll be able to launch and you'll be able to create a good product. We are still under what to sell. This is the final lesson. You'll be able to produce or create a very good product, standard product. You'll be able to create an awesome and exclusive product for your target audience. So once the product is even out, like people will be expecting that product. You've already created anticipation for it. They're already anticipating for that product, and this is a good way to sell, right? So this is the end of the first model, what to sell. We are moving on to the second model, where to sell. See you in the next model. See you in the next lesson. I hope you really enjoyed this lesson and you're able to learn new things. See you in the next video.